Buddies, hello and welcome to a new week on the channel and another chance to look back through the Bowler's World archives. And today we're going back to April 1978. Back to the... oh no, punk was in 1977, but they were still knocking about. There were still a few punk bands about in 78. I don't really remember much about 78. Maybe there were a lot of strikes happening and things like that. I was only 5, so I won't know. Anyway guys, thanks for joining me today. Remember, if you enjoy these videos, please hit that like button. And if you're not already a Bowls buddy and a member of this community of ours, please hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free of charge, and don't forget, click the notification bell for notifications of content on the channel, which is currently 4 times a week. And if I can just ask you all as well, if you just tell one other person that doesn't already know about these videos, just tell them it exists and where to find it. We seem to have stalled at about 1,650 subscribers, which is a little bit disappointing. I was hoping to get to 2,000 by now, and there will be a big giveaway when I get to 2,000. So just tell your friends. It's not just me waffling. There's hundreds of games from the past, real good stuff. There's all sorts on there. If you go right to the stuff I put on back in 2014, you'll see all sorts of stuff that you might never have watched before. There's all sorts, and it passes a few hours if you've nothing else to do. So as I say, we're going back to 1978, the 9th edition of Bowler's World, and on the front we go into the dogs. Could be saying what I'm thinking at the minute about the game of Crown Green Bowls, but it's not. It's about Arthur Bromley and his syndicate of South Yorkshire businessmen who decided to build 2 bowling greens in the middle of a greyhound track in Barnsley. I heard about it when I was a bit older. I know Gary Wallace played there for a time and a few others. I'm told it was a very, very difficult green that they built. Of course, the ground track is still there, but there's no bowling greens in the middle. So it says here, Arthur says, we intend to make Highgate the top bowling stadium in the country and put on big money competitions which will attract the country's top bowlers. We'll have the perfect setup for our expansion plans, as we have ample car parking facilities and an excellent clubhouse which we plan to extend. Well, I'm thinking it went maybe late 80s-ish from memory. I could be wrong. Always sad when greens go. You don't hear about greens being built really nowadays, but let's not forget 78. The game was booming. It was getting bigger. And also on the front page, it's a record profit. A record £1,800 profit was made by the BCGBA from organising the 1977 Crown King Championship, and it has been distributed to the 10 county associations. 180 quid, that's not too shabby. This means that more than 5,000 profit has now been made from the Crown King tournament over the last 3 years, and all bowling clubs affiliated with the county association have benefited to some degree. Now then, more than 2,700 bowlers from 10 counties entered the 1977 Crown King. 2,700 bowlers. Now for me, that was what a national championship should be. Yes, for those of you that watched on, I think it was Thursday, you'll know my thoughts about the All England. I just don't think it's right that you could lose and still win the All England. The Crown King, you only played qualifiers. You didn't play down to a winner in your county areas, so there was no messing about with losers getting through. And 2,700 bowlers is a staggering number. Absolutely staggering number. Would you get the same entry nowadays? Probably not. You might get 200, 300, 500 at a push. But I think that if you had the entry fee right, if it was a fiver, I think if it was played in counties beforehand, I think that you don't need any prize money at that stage, and you just need maybe a few small sponsors rather than one big one, and who knows. The prize money then was only £1,000 with £200 to the winner. There's an advert for it on the front page. Hepworth Tailing, Daily Express, Crown King. And eventually it went to I forgot who it was. Daily Express, and a bank took over, didn't they? Can't remember who took it over now. But Hepworth Tailing pulled out, and a bank got involved. Was it the Yorkshire Bank, was it? Or am I thinking of the Golden Lady? My brain isn't just working. I mean, I've sat through Burnley losing 3-1 somehow to that lot from Salford. I hope they go off to that Super League thing that they're all talking about. Anyway, enough of that. On page 2, there's an article about the Waterloo and a world record prize money of £4,000. It's less than 10 years later that had gone up to £20,000. I think it was £22,000 at one point. And they were talking about having 1,600 entries, and it went up to more than that, to 2,048. And that was Tom Bradley that was running that then. Also on that page, Albert Ringrose won the Waterloo Handicap in 1948, played on the professional circuit, known as the Clown Prince of Bowling. There'll never be another like Ringrose, he used to say. After they made me, they threw the mould away. Yeah. Obviously, I never got to see him bowl, but I'm told he was a extremely good watch. He was, yeah, a bit like Vernon Lee on acid, I guess, is how I would describe it. But yeah, so he passed away at the age of 76, which isn't that old really. Noel Burrows is pictured on page 3, not topless, I hasten to add, none of that going on. Opened the Murfield Old Bank lights, which are pretty good now, to be fair. And they played in a tournament to open them, and he just took the money back over the Pennines, which is always pleasant when you're a Lancastrian playing in Yorkshire. There's a little on, what page is it now? I'm not sure what page it is. Page 6. Scouse County moves our foot on Merseyside to form a new county bowling association in time for the 1979 season. The Liverpool Bowling Association have taken the initiative in contacting all the various leagues and associations in the area to test the feeling, with a view to start serious discussions later in the season. As an interesting pipe opener, Merseyside will play a representative team from county champions Lancashire at Knotty Ash Hotel, Sunday 7th of May. Very interesting. And of course, in 1979, Greater Manchester started proceedings to become a county in their own right, with Noel Burrows as president, and Roy Armson was something to do with it, and they came into the fold in 1980. And I don't think Merseyside were too far behind them. I can't think if it was 81 or 82. And then of course South Yorkshire followed, and finally, well, we had North Lancs filed in 84. So it wouldn't be, this was obviously the start of Merseyside joining the fold. I always like these old bowlers' worlds, because I've always got a lot in about the Griffin, and the Griffin is quite close to my heart. And Peter Muff, the guy, the Huddersfield reporter who was always writing in bowlers' world and other things, having a report from the Griffin, absolutely covered in snow, and he says a touch of margarine helped to put some jam on Gordon Cowgill's bank account. After a morning snowstorm had covered the Griffin Inn Bowling Club's green just before the final of their £320 Stones Cup final, Cowgill smeared his woods with the stuff to make them run better. Now, normally, if you've got any, you'd put coconut oil on or goose grease. Now, I was taught that when I was quite a young man starting out on the panel. And I can't remember who told me, I'd be guessing if I did, and I was told coconut oil's the thing. Coconut oil, and couldn't get it at the time. Now you can buy it everywhere, but it does work. It stops the snow picking up on the ball. It stops it adhering, and you just get a truer path across the green, because obviously if you get the snow building up around the ball, the bias is affected, and it tends to accentuate the bias. So if you're playing 2's bias, you'll end up with 5's bias balls and all sorts. So that was good. It was interesting. I love seeing stuff like that. I think on one of the Bowlers World front pages there's a big picture of a JCB covering, taking the snow covering off the green, which is well, fantastic. Now then, on page 9 they had You Are the Ref. Now they used to do this in Roy of the Rovers. I think it was Shoot, can't remember. So I'll ask you, a player bowls the jack and without waiting for it to stop plays his first wood. The jack, however, goes off the green. How does play restart with special regard to the order of play? Well, I think I know this. The guy that didn't send the jack gets to set the mark. The original leader of the jack, i.e. the winner of the previous end, sends his first ball, and then the guy that set the jack the second time round sends both his balls. Now I'll go and check. You are the ref. The original leader loses that ball. The opponent receives the block to set the mark, and the original leader then plays his remaining wood. Then his opponent plays his 2 woods consecutively. Absolutely. Bold, Cairns. Might not be able to bowl, but I know the rules. I was thinking for a second though, they might have changed since 1978. But no, I think that's a pretty easy one, to be honest. Last page, £1,000 at the bank. Murfield Old Bank will stage a £1,000 2-man team competition under their lights next August, September and October. Competitors who will pay £10 to a team to enter the event will play on Monday and Saturday nights. Well, that grew into one of the best competitions, certainly in Yorkshire, if not the whole of the country. Every man and his dog wanted to play in the Murfield 2-man team. I was fortunate to win it twice with Stuart Moore, been in the semi-finals maybe another 3 or 4 times. Brilliantly run. I think by the time it's finished now, Andy Sykes knocked it on the head last year, I think, and I'm sure the entry fee had got up to maybe £30 or £40 at this point, and the prize money was amazing. It was really good prize money. So that was when it started back in 1978, and it's a shame though. I think if you haven't experienced watching or playing in that event, it's a shame you've missed out on something there. It is that little bit different, and the pressures are a little bit different. You're not only trying to win your game, you're trying to win your game well to give your partner, take the pressure off him, and sometimes you can get bogged down looking at the scoreboard and working out what you need to do and things like that. So really was a good event, and this is when it started back in the day. And next up, dates for your diary. Crossfield Cup fixtures 1978, and looking at them, they've got dates May 14th, June 4th, June 11th, July 9th, August 6th, August 27th. Awful lot of different dates going on there. And the final was played on September the 10th. Very interesting indeed. So that was a look back at 1978, April 1978 to be precise. I'll bring it a bit more up to date next week. I don't look a week in advance, to be honest. I've too much on my mind to plan these things. I think it is a professional outfit. Join me on Wednesday though. I'll be talking bowls. I may have a bit of information for you. One or two people have been in touch with me about some of the things I said last week regarding British Crown Green. Don't think for 1 second that this is the point of these videos, for me to criticise people. It's not at all. But when I see things happening, or in this case not happening, I do feel as though I need to speak out about it. Anyway, I'll address all that on Wednesday. Friday, the new day for comment corners. Plenty of comments come through. Thank you so much for those. Keep them coming. You'll get a shout out and a mention if I read out one of your comments. And Saturday will be another blast from the past, a classic game from the archives, with a little bit of analysis from yours truly, because I like the sound of my own voice apparently. So thanks for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press that like button, and please tell your friends about this channel. The more people that know about it, the better. Yeah, by the time I see you on Wednesday, I'll have played my first game in the Murphy League. How exciting is that? So, you'll hear all about it, no doubt. So, I'll say goodbye for now. Remember guys, get on the green, get playing, but remember to stay safe when you go to the supermarket. Get that mask on, get that mask on. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. So, bye for now. Join me on Wednesday.